Hello, East Baton Rouge Parish 4-H Club leaders. It is Mr. Nick, one of your 4-H agents, and today's video training will focus on how to perform 4-H club meetings for both in-school and project-based clubs. Clubs are so crucial to the success of students as 4-H members and an important part of the 4-H Youth Development Program. And a little bit about what we're going to talk about today is what are the 4 essential elements, and what is a 4-H club meeting, as well as the parts and pieces of a well-organized club, and some tools that we can provide to you to ensure that you have a successful club meeting. So the 4 essential elements club meetings are a tradition of excellence, and to ensure the continuation of this excellence, it is important to incorporate the 4 essential elements. These essential elements are belonging, mastery, independence, and generosity. The first element that we will focus on is generosity, which is developed through a positive relationship with a caring adult while maintaining an inclusive and safe environment. One way that we can accomplish this is to involve members in the meeting by asking them to create a table tent or a name tag to engage them. Another way to do this is to ask youth for assistance when preparing for the day's meeting. Through these activities, it is our hope that youth are learning to be independent by actively participating in the club meeting and having the ability to determine their own choices within that club setting. By helping others and those within their community, youth will gain an appreciation for generosity by valuing others as well as the contributions that they make themselves. In the end, youth will develop a mastery of how to run a business meeting and understanding of each role within that club meeting and their role within the community. Now, for the parts of a 4-H meeting, each club meeting can be broken into 3 main parts: the business meeting, recreation, and an educational program. A quarter of the time is reserved for the business meeting to ensure that all information from the previous meeting and current information is distributed to the youth. A quarter of the time is reserved for recreation, for youth to have a team building activity or snack to allow them to form those relationships a little bit further. Then half of the time is reserved for the educational program that has been included in the club boxes that are brought to your school at the beginning of each month. Now, to ensure that the business meeting portion of your club meetings run smoothly, a tool was adapted from the University of Florida Extension Service to help maintain Robert's Rule of Orders during this portion of your club meetings. This tool was laminated and placed in your September club boxes and can be filled in accordance with the method you choose for each meeting. So this laminated copy can be filled in with Expo marker so that your students can change out depending on who the president for each meeting presiding over each meeting is, as well as members that fill in each of the other roles. Robert's Rule of Orders follows this order for club meetings. The meeting is called to order by the president. There is someone who conducts the pledge to the American flag. Another student will conduct the pledge to the 4-H flag, followed by roll call. Then the secretary gives their report, followed by the treasurer's report. The educational activity will take place that is provided in your club boxes. Old business will be discussed. New business will be discussed. Announcements pertaining to the particular club, as well as parish-wide announcements in the newsletter, will be reviewed, followed by adjournment at the end of your club meeting. Now, when going through and selecting officers, there's multiple ways that you can do this, and it's kind of pertinent to how your club decides to conduct themselves. So the first is to elect officers in a traditional way, followed by a 4-H officer rotation chart so that each student is allowed to conduct the meeting in a different officer role, followed by pulling popsicle sticks with officer roles on them so that students randomly are chosen dependent upon their choosing. Now we will go through a meeting run through so that you are aware of how a meeting can be conducted. So first, the meeting is called to order by the president, as well as those conducting the pledge, and the 4-H pledge are brought to the front of the room so that they are allowed to state their pledges. The Pledge of Allegiance in both English and Spanish has been included as well as the 4-H pledge in English and Spanish has been included in this lesson. The secretary will then conduct the roll call. This is an important part of the meeting to ensure that all of your members are there, as well as to instill another sense of belonging, as the secretary can often say to state your name, followed by your favorite color, your favorite animal, so that students can really feel heard and belonging within the club meeting. Then the reports conducted by the treasurer and secretary are given. Then the educational activity that has been provided in your club box is to be conducted, which varies from month to month. Then announcements for both the club as well as parish-wide are to be stated. And then the meeting is adjourned. So while this was an extremely brief overview of how to conduct a club meeting, if you have any further questions on how to conduct a club meeting or specific questions to your club, please contact me at nusa@agcenter.lsu.edu.